Hi everyone, it's Mrs. Wine. Today we're going to be making our Gyotaku prints. So today you will need a lot of different equipment. You will need your engraving that you created on your foam plate last week. Go ahead and set that aside. You will also need a printmaking registration plate. The registration plate is going to tell you where to line up your printing plate, your paper, and it has your step-by-step directions. You don't need this yet either, so you can set it aside as well. You are also going to need 2 sheets of paper for later. Make sure you have your name on the back of both sheets. And you will also need lots of cleaning equipment, such as paper towels and wipes that I will give you. And then finally, you're ready. You've got your newspaper down to keep your area clean. And the first material that we are going to be using is our brayer. Brayer is just a fancy word for the roller that we're going to use to spread the ink. And I will have the ink put on a disposable tray for you in a line at the bottom of the tray. So the first thing you're going to do is you're going to pick up the brayer, put the brayer down into the ink, get a little bit of ink on the brayer, and then you're going to start to roll the ink out on your tray. Now the trick to rolling the ink is to make sure you go both directions. I want to roll vertically, and then I can turn the plate around and roll the other direction. The purpose of this is not to fill the whole plate with ink. The purpose is to get a thin layer of ink on the brayer. So I can pick up some more ink and I can roll it out. Now, if you listen, you can hear how sticky the ink is. That's a good sign. That means you have enough ink, and it means the ink is sticky enough that it's going to transfer from the brayer to your printing plate. So as soon as I have the ink, a nice even coating all over my brayer, I'm ready for my printing plate. And I'm simply going to put my printing plate on the newspaper, and I get the ink from the tray, and I want to make sure I get a nice even coating of ink all over my printing plate. If you start to see that the ink is having a little bit of trouble spreading, you can always pick up a little more ink and quickly roll it out. Now, as soon as you have the ink all over your fish, remember, we're not concerned so much about the corners, but we're concerned about our fish. You're going to set the tray with your brayer aside. You're going to take your registration plate. Now, this is where you're probably going to need the help of a partner that does not have ink on their hands. You're going to put your printing plate right in the center. Line it up as best as you can. Then have your partner with the clean hands take your paper and lay the paper right on top. Make sure that you can see your name when you put the paper down. Then you're going to firmly rub the paper. So once I have the paper down, I'm going to take my fingers And I'm applying some pressure here. I'm not just rubbing it softly. It's not like I'm petting a soft little kitty cat. I'm really applying some pressure here because I want to make sure that I transfer the ink from the printing plate to my paper. And because this paper is pretty thin, I can actually start to see part of my fish come out through the back. I don't know if you can see that on the video or not. And once I have rubbed the entire fish, then you're going to pull the paper off the plate. So I'm just going to take this. Maybe my partner with the dirty hands can stick their finger there. And now I have my Gyotaku print. Today you're going to make 2 prints. So after you make the first print, you're going to set it aside. You move the printing plate off of the registration plate and you start all over again with the ink. You ink your plate, then you create a second print. I hope you have a wonderful week. I cannot wait to see your finished Gyotaku prints. And until next time, keep on creating.